The human body is an incredible communicator. It speaks a constant, quiet language of sensation and change, signaling its needs, its strengths, and, sometimes, its vulnerabilities. For many of us over 60, it can be tempting to file these subtle messages away under the broad category of just getting older. A little more tired, a bit of new stiffness, a few pounds that seem to have vanished on their own. But leading-edge health science tells us that listening closely to these whispers is one of the most powerful things we can do for our long-term vitality. Recognizing the pattern behind these subtle shifts is not about searching for problems. It's about building a partnership with your own body. Today, we are going to explore 9 of these quiet signals. We'll look at what they feel like in everyday life, understand the simple science of what might be happening inside, and, most importantly, clarify when a simple observation becomes a reason for a productive conversation with your doctor. This is about replacing vague worry with clear, confident action. Please remember, this video is a tool for awareness and education, not for self-diagnosis. Its purpose is to empower you to be the best possible advocate for your own health. I'm Dr. Daniel Bennett, and for years, I've focused on translating complex medical science into practical, real-world knowledge, especially for those of us navigating our health in our 60s, 70s, and beyond. We're building a community here dedicated to aging with strength and clarity. If that's something you believe in, I'd be honored if you'd consider subscribing to join us on this journey. Your presence helps us all learn and grow together. Let's begin with a sign many people notice but often dismiss: unexplained weight loss. This isn't about losing a pound or two after a busy week. This is a steady, unintentional trend. You might notice your watch is looser or your belt needs a new notch, but you haven't been dieting or increasing your exercise. It can feel a bit puzzling, even welcome at first, but it's a signal that deserves your attention. The science behind this is centered on your body's metabolism. Think of it as your internal engine. For you to lose weight, you either need to consume fewer calories or burn more. When you're losing weight without trying, it means your engine is burning fuel faster than usual. This can happen for a few reasons. An overactive thyroid gland, for example, can act like a stuck accelerator pedal on your metabolism. In other cases, the body might not be absorbing nutrients properly from your food, a condition called malabsorption. It can also signal that the body is having trouble using sugar for fuel, as an undiagnosed diabetes, forcing it to burn muscle and fat instead. This increased metabolic demand is a significant change. The key here is to be objective. Don't just go by how your clothes fit. The clinical guideline is clear. If you have unintentionally lost more than 5% of your body weight over a period of 6 to 12 months, it is time to schedule a doctor's appointment. For a 160-pound person, that's about 8 pounds. For a 200-pound person, it's 10 pounds. When you go, your doctor will likely start with a physical exam and some basic blood work to check your thyroid function, blood sugar, and look for signs of inflammation or nutrient deficiencies. Catching the cause early can lead to treatments that restore your energy and protect your muscle mass, which is so crucial for stability and strength as we age. From a change on the scale, let's move to a change in your energy levels. I'm not talking about feeling a bit tired after a poor night's sleep. I'm talking about persistent fatigue. This is a deep, profound weariness that doesn't seem to go away, no matter how much you rest. It's the feeling of waking up already tired or feeling completely drained after a simple activity like grocery shopping. It's a weight that you carry with you throughout the day. This type of fatigue is a sign of cellular exhaustion. Every cell in your body is a tiny power plant that requires oxygen and nutrients to create energy. Persistent fatigue often means there's a problem somewhere in that supply chain. For instance, anemia, a condition where you have a shortage of healthy red blood cells, means less oxygen is being delivered to your cells. It's like trying to keep a fire going with poor airflow. Similarly, if the heart isn't pumping blood as efficiently as it should, that also creates an oxygen deficit. An underactive thyroid can slow down the entire metabolic process, making every single cellular function more sluggish. Here's a common myth I'd like to address. Many people believe that if they just take a good multivitamin or an energy supplement, their fatigue will vanish. While nutrient deficiencies like low iron or B12 can certainly cause fatigue and should be corrected, persistent, debilitating fatigue is rarely solved by a supplement alone. It's often a sign of an underlying medical condition that needs a proper diagnosis and targeted treatment. Simply masking the symptom with caffeine or a supplement can delay getting the care you truly need. So, what's the practical step? Before you see your doctor, try keeping a simple energy diary for 1 week. Each day, note how many hours you slept and rate your overall energy level on a scale of 1 to 10. Also, jot down what activities made you feel most tired. This simple log turns a vague complaint of, "I'm always tired," into concrete data that your doctor can use to decide which tests are most appropriate, such as a complete blood count, thyroid panel, or a check of your heart function. Addressing the root cause can feel like a light being switched on, restoring the energy you need for the activities you love. Now let's talk about a more personal topic: changes in your bowel habits. This is about a noticeable deviation from your lifelong normal. Perhaps you've always been regular, but now you're dealing with persistent constipation. Or maybe you're experiencing new, ongoing diarrhea or noticing that the shape of your stool has changed significantly. If this new pattern continues for more than a few weeks, it's another quiet signal. Your digestive tract is an incredibly complex and sensitive system. Think of it as a finely tuned ecosystem. A lasting change can indicate a shift in your gut microbiome, the delicate balance of trillions of bacteria that help you digest food and support your immune system. It can also signal low-grade inflammation in the intestinal lining. In some cases, a persistent change, especially a narrowing of the stool, could indicate a physical issue that is impeding the passage of waste. Your bowel habits are a direct reflection of your internal digestive health. Of course, diet, hydration, stress, and medications can all cause temporary changes. It's normal to have an off day or two. But the key word here is persistent. If a new pattern of constipation, diarrhea, or change in stool caliber lasts for more than 2 weeks, it's worth discussing with your provider. Don't be embarrassed. Doctors discuss this all day long. Being specific is helpful. Tell them how long the change has been happening, its nature, and if it's associated with any other symptoms like bloating, pain, or blood. This information can help them decide if further investigation, like a colonoscopy, is warranted. Many times, the solution is simple dietary adjustments or a probiotic, but ruling out more serious issues provides invaluable peace of mind. From the digestive system, let's turn to your respiratory and cardiovascular systems. The next sign is becoming short of breath with minimal exertion. This isn't the huffing and puffing that comes with a strenuous workout. It's getting winded doing things that used to be easy, like carrying in the groceries, walking up a single flight of stairs, or even just talking while walking. You might find yourself needing to pause and catch your breath unexpectedly. This symptom is all about the oxygen supply chain. Your body has 2 key players in this process: your lungs, which take oxygen in from the air, and your heart, which pumps that oxygen-rich blood to every cell in your body. Shortness of breath, or dyspnea as it's medically known, means there's a weak link in that chain. The problem could be in the lungs. Perhaps they aren't transferring oxygen to the blood efficiently due to conditions like chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, COPD. Or, the problem could be with the pump. The heart may not be strong enough to circulate blood effectively, a hallmark of congestive heart failure. It can also be a sign that the coronary arteries that supply the heart muscle itself are narrowed. This is not a symptom to ignore or normalize as a part of aging. Your first step is to pay close attention to when it happens. Does it happen when you lie down? Does it come on suddenly? Or has it been a gradual progression? Is it accompanied by any chest discomfort, swelling in your ankles, or a cough? Answering these questions will provide your doctor with critical clues. Any new or worsening shortness of breath requires a prompt medical evaluation. It is a signal that your body's core delivery system for life-giving oxygen needs to be checked. Let's now move to the body's framework, our joints. The sign here is persistent, nonspecific joint pain. This is different from the pain you get in your knee after a long day of gardening. This is a more generalized, often symmetrical ache that can affect multiple joints at once, perhaps your hands, wrists, and feet. It might feel worse in the morning, accompanied by a stiffness that takes a while to work out. The pain can even seem to migrate from one joint to another. The mechanism here is often systemic inflammation. Imagine a low-level, smoldering fire that's not confined to one spot, but is spread throughout your body. This is what happens in many autoimmune conditions. Your immune system, which is designed to attack foreign invaders like bacteria, gets confused and starts attacking your own healthy tissues. In rheumatoid arthritis, the primary target is the synovium, the delicate lining of your joints. This attack creates inflammation, which causes the pain, swelling, and stiffness you feel. This is fundamentally different from the wear and tear of osteoarthritis, which is typically localized to specific, high-use joints. If you are experiencing this type of roving, persistent joint pain, especially with significant morning stiffness that lasts for more than 30 minutes, it's a very good reason to see your doctor. A helpful tool is to keep a simple symptom journal for a few weeks. Note which joints hurt, when they hurt the most, and what, if anything, makes them feel better. Your doctor can then use this information along with a physical exam and specific blood tests that look for inflammatory markers to get to the root of the problem. Early diagnosis and treatment of inflammatory arthritis can prevent long-term joint damage and dramatically improve your quality of life. If this information is clearing things up for you, a quick tap on the subscribe button ensures you won't miss our future videos. Our next sign is another classic feedback loop in the body, a significant increase in thirst and urination. Medically, this is called polydipsia and polyuria. It feels like you can't seem to quench your thirst, no matter how much water you drink. You might find yourself getting up multiple times during the night to use the bathroom, which can disrupt your sleep and add to fatigue. The science behind this is often related to blood sugar regulation. In a healthy body, the hormone insulin helps move sugar from your bloodstream into your cells to be used for energy. In type 2 diabetes, which becomes more common as we age, your body either doesn't produce enough insulin or your cells become resistant to its effects. This leaves excess sugar circulating in your blood. Your kidneys work hard to filter your blood, but when sugar levels get too high, some of it spills over into your urine. To dilute this high concentration of sugar, your kidneys are forced to pull extra water from your body, which is why you urinate more frequently. All of this water loss leads to dehydration, which in turn triggers an intense thirst signal in your brain. It's your body's urgent attempt to flush out the excess sugar. While some medications can cause increased thirst as a side effect, you should never assume that's the cause. If you're experiencing a new and persistent pattern of extreme thirst and frequent urination, it is a very strong reason to call your doctor's office and ask for a simple fasting blood glucose test or an A1C test. These tests are quick, easy, and provide a clear picture of your blood sugar control. Undiagnosed diabetes can lead to serious complications, but when caught early, it is a very manageable condition, often with lifestyle changes and medication. Let's return to the digestive system for a very subtle but important clue. Feeling full very quickly when you eat, a symptom known as early satiety. This means you sit down to a meal, perhaps feeling hungry, but after only a few bites, you feel uncomfortably full. You may not be able to finish even a small portion of what you would normally eat. This might be accompanied by bloating, nausea, or a general discomfort in your upper abdomen. Your stomach is a muscular organ designed to stretch and hold food while it begins the process of digestion. Early satiety can be a sign that something is interfering with this process. It could be a mechanical issue, where something is physically taking up space in or near the stomach, preventing it from expanding properly. It could also be a functional issue, like gastroparesis, a condition where the stomach empties its contents too slowly, often related to nerve issues. In other situations, it can be a sign of something outside the stomach, like a significant buildup of fluid in the abdominal cavity, known as ascites, which can be related to liver or even heart conditions. Because the causes can be so varied, this is a symptom that deserves a medical evaluation. If you find that for several weeks you consistently feel full after eating very little, especially if it's a new experience for you and is associated with weight loss or bloating, make an appointment to discuss it. Your doctor will listen to your symptoms, perform an abdominal exam, and may recommend further imaging or tests to understand what is happening inside. Don't dismiss this as just a small appetite. It can be an early signal from your digestive system that something needs attention. Next, we move to your sense of sight. I'm not talking about the gradual change that sends many of us to the optometrist for stronger reading glasses. The warning sign here is a sudden, dramatic change in your vision. This could be a sudden shower of new floaters, those little specks or cobwebs that drift through your field of vision. It might be experiencing flashes of light, like a camera flash going off in your peripheral vision, or noticing a new, dark curtain or shadow that seems to be descending over a part of your sight. To understand why this is so urgent, picture the inside of your eye. The back wall is lined with a delicate, light-sensitive tissue called the retina. It's like the film in a camera. The main cavity of your eye is filled with a clear, jelly-like substance called the vitreous. As we age, this vitreous gel naturally shrinks and can pull away from the retina. Most of the time, this happens without any issue. However, sometimes it can tug on the retina, causing the flashes of light. If it tugs hard enough, it can create a small tear. The shower of floaters is often a sign of tiny specks of blood or pigment being released through that tear. If fluid gets under the tear, it can lift the retina off the back wall of the eye, a retinal detachment. This is a true medical emergency. A retinal tear or detachment is a time-sensitive condition where every hour matters for preserving your vision. If you experience any of these specific symptoms, a sudden burst of many new floaters, flashes of light, or a dark curtain in your vision, you need to be seen by an ophthalmologist or go to an emergency room immediately. There are very effective procedures to repair these issues, but their success is highly dependent on how quickly you act. Finally, our last sign is on the surface, a skin sore that just won't heal. This might start as a small, pimple-like bump, a scaly patch, or a minor cut. But instead of healing within a few weeks as you'd expect, it lingers. It might bleed, form a scab, the scab falls off, and the sore is still there. This cycle might repeat over and over. The body's ability to heal a wound is a complex and beautiful process, involving a coordinated response from your immune system, skin cells, and circulatory system. A sore that fails to heal is a sign that this process has been disrupted. One of the most common reasons, particularly on sun-exposed areas like the face, ears, and hands, is a non-melanoma skin cancer like a basal cell or squamous cell carcinoma. These abnormal cells disrupt the normal tissue structure and prevent proper healing. In other cases, especially on the lower legs and feet, a non-healing sore can be a sign of poor circulation or undiagnosed diabetes, both of which compromise the delivery of oxygen and nutrients needed for repair. It's wise to perform a simple skin self-exam once a month. While you should look for the well-known ABCDs of melanoma, you should also be on the lookout for any new spot, bump, or patch that doesn't fully heal within 4 to 6 weeks. Take a photo of it with your phone so you can track its progress. If you have a spot that fits this description, point it out to your doctor or a dermatologist at your next visit. Most skin cancers are highly treatable, especially when they are caught early. These 9 signs are not a checklist for anxiety. They are a guide to listening. Your body is your lifelong companion, and these signals are its way of asking for a little extra attention. The goal is to move from a place of uncertainty to a place of empowered partnership with your healthcare team. Taking that next step, making the call, scheduling the appointment, is an act of profound self-respect. You are telling yourself that your health, your energy, and your future are worth investing in. You are not being a bother. You are being a responsible and engaged steward of your own well-being. What is one small health promise you are making to yourself this week? It could be as simple as scheduling a checkup or taking a daily walk. Share it in the comments below. Declaring our intentions can be a powerful motivator. If you found this guidance clear and helpful, please consider liking this video and sharing it with a friend or family member. It helps others find this calm, credible health information. Thank you for investing this time in your health.